everybody. I am working with my Kuretake Zig watercolors in this project. I'm going to make a scrapbook page, and I'm basically just making the embellishments from stamps and watercolors. So I'm just showing you the things that I use. I use a paint palette and things, and those are the stamps I'm using. One of them is from Unity, the large one, and the others are from the Angel Company, and I'm going to stamp it VersaFine ink because it's very oily and it almost works like a resist to help keep your watercolors in place, and it stamps just such a beautiful fine line. So I'm stamping out those cupcakes, and I'm going to do it at least a couple of times. This is a birthday layout for my son's 13th birthday, and I have kind of struggled with this. I actually cropped the photos for last month's video, and I had a layout started and I hated it, and so I threw away the pattern paper I was using. They sat there for quite a while. And then I just decided, no, I'm not even going to use pattern paper. I don't have anything that has the right rainbow effect that I wanted, and so I just pulled out cupcakes because my son does love cupcakes. So anyway, you can see that I'm just stamping these out. That's all that I'm doing here. I'm going to start watercoloring soon. This is the Unity stamp that I got. I do love Unity stamps. The Angel Company, I think, is no longer available. And I sped this up really fast because, yeah, watching somebody paint, and I'm not a great watercolorist. I am working on my watercolor skills, but I am no genius at watercolor. I just fiddle around with it. And, it's fun. And I like these paints. They're very, very intense. You need very, very little paint. And I like that. They are very shiny and they're creamy, but they're hard to use for mixed media because it's hard to write over the top of them because they don't come out matte. So I don't know whether I would buy them again, but they're pretty. And mixing them, I haven't really, I don't know. The color choices are not ideal for mixing, I guess. But they're pretty the way they are. So that's how I'm using them, just straight out of the pan for the most part. And just quickly, these are my homemade Pearl-Ex paints. They're a watercolor, basically just Pearl-Ex, gum arabic, and a little bit of water, and there you are. And if you get the Jacquard gum arabic, it gives you the recipe right on the bottle. But I do have a very old, I think it's like a 10-year-old video of me making various things with Pearl-Ex called The Case for Pearl-Ex. So if you want to watch me make them, it's a very rough video, my early videography, but people still look at it because it shows you a bunch of different ways to use Pearl-Ex, which I do love. One of the things I like about the Pearl-Ex paints that you make is that because it's just Pearl-Ex and gum arabic and no fillers, it's very intense. And not expensive to make. I mean, that was the whole point of The Case for Pearl-Ex, was to talk about how it wasn't that expensive. Another thing I pulled out is some old pebbles. These are like a shiny pastel, and they're a little, they're not chalky, they're more greasy. So I used that in the background of that heart to give it a really soft look. And then I needed some just plain background paper. My son loves patriotic colors. He loves the 4th of July. So that's what I did. And then this yummy cardstock, that background blue cardstock was Club Scrap that I've had forever. And I loved it so much that I bought like 20 sheets of it and have hoarded it. And I just used it on this layout. But I have plenty left. So I'm cropping down that photo a little more. It was just not cropped enough. And I'm going to start fiddling with it because the layout that I originally planned I didn't really like, and so I'm going to fiddle with it for a while. And while I was doing this video, I saw a video of a woman using washi tape, and I'm like, hey, I have rainbow washi tape. I never use that stuff. So I pulled that out too. And this is just plain cheap white Michael's cardstock that I pulled. There is no pattern paper on this layout. It's just my stamping and my watercoloring and some washi tape. So it's very simple. You totally could replicate this look. And that, you know, I kind of wanted for my scrapbook blessing stuff not to be just crazy difficult stuff that scares people, because some of my stuff I get really intense on the mixed media. But I also wanted to do some things that, you know, the average crafter who's never done mixed media and doesn't really want to could say, I think I could do this. So I'm just throwing down a bunch of that washi tape, which I've owned forever and never used. But it's pretty. And here I'm cropping down this piece that I made. I'm going to make the title piece, and I'm testing the title piece location. And I'm also going to make a tag for my journaling out of it. And I rearrange everything and just keep working on it. Doing my journaling, just talking about how this was a going away party for us when we were moving to Alabama, as well as being his birthday. And I'm going to start gluing things down here. And so this is actually a pretty simple page. More VersaFine. I am going to, I apparently embossed those, because the VersaFine is oily, and if you don't let it dry, it gets everywhere. So, but one way to fight that is to just emboss it with clear, which is what I did here. And those big numbers, I got those from Club Scrap a long time ago. They used to do tons of stamping alphabets, and I was a member when they were doing that, and I probably have, oh my gosh, you can't even imagine. I probably have 30, maybe 35 alphabet stamp sets, and I do love them. But that's just a birthday sentiment from a birthday. That's a Unity stamp. And now I'm truly gluing things down. I've committed. I like this layout. It is so cute and playful, and it's exactly what I wanted. My son, he's 13, but he's autistic, and he is young at heart and sweet and adorable and charming and difficult. And now he's a teenager, and he's just an interesting guy. So I'm just finishing this up. I've glued everything down, and there's my layout.